Ethan had always been the odd one out in his family. While his father, a stoic engineer, and his mother, a pragmatic nurse, believed in the traditional ladder to success: school, college, stable career, Ethan had dreams of carving his own path. For months, he tried to convince them to let him drop out of college to focus on his YouTube channel idea. "It's not just silly entertainment, Dad," he'd argued one evening at the dinner table, his voice tinged with frustration. "It's real. People are making a living more than a living by creating content online." His father shook his head, cutting into his steak with measured force. "Ethan, I don't want to hear another word about this nonsense. A job is about stability, not chasing clicks on some social media circus. It's not nonsense." Ethan fired back, his cheeks burning. "You don't understand." "I understand plenty," his father interrupted, his voice firm. "You think you're too good for hard work? Too good for an education? You'll never amount to anything if you keep wasting your time on these pipe dreams." His mother, always the mediator, placed a gentle hand on Ethan's arm. "Your father only wants what's best for you. We just don't want to see you throw your future away." Ethan pushed his chair back abruptly. "Maybe I don't want the future you're forcing on me." He stormed to his room, slamming the door behind him. Despite their constant discouragement, Ethan didn't stop. By day, he attended his classes, acing them out of sheer spite. But by night, he transformed into a tireless researcher and creator. His YouTube channel wasn't flashy or loud. It was thoughtful and deeply researched. Ethan poured hours into studying the latest advancements in cancer treatments, alternative remedies, and inspiring survivor stories. "I just want to help people," he whispered to himself one night as he uploaded a new video titled, "The Forgotten Methods, Natural Approaches That Could Help in the Fight Against Cancer." His videos started small, but gradually they began to gain traction. Comments like, "Thank you for this," "You've given me hope," and "This is the most comprehensive guide I've seen," kept him motivated. He stayed anonymous, choosing the alias, healing together to ensure his family wouldn't find out. But as his channel grew, so did the risk. One evening, Ethan returned home to find his parents waiting for him in the living room. His father's expression was unreadable, but his mother looked upset. "Sit down," his father said curtly, holding up his phone. Ethan's stomach dropped. His channel was on screen. "What is this?" his father asked, his voice dangerously calm. Ethan's heart pounded. It's a project I've been working on." "A project?" his father scoffed. "You've been lying to us. All those late nights, all that time you were supposed to be focusing on school, you were wasting it on this?" "It's not a waste," Ethan snapped. "Do you even know what I'm doing? I'm helping people. Thousands of people are watching these videos." His father cut him off. "You're throwing away your future for what? Some views? Some likes? This isn't a career, Ethan. It's a distraction." His mother, quieter but equally disappointed, added, "We're just shocked. We thought you were better than this." The words stung. Ethan wanted to scream, to tell them they were wrong, but he couldn't find the strength. Instead, he retreated to his room, where he collapsed onto his bed, staring at the ceiling. 2 days later, everything changed. Ethan was in the middle of editing his latest video when he heard his mother's anguished voice downstairs. "What do you mean, cancer?" she cried into the phone. He froze, his chest tightening as he crept to the top of the stairs to listen. It was Emily, his older sister, calling from out of state. She'd been diagnosed with an aggressive form of breast cancer. The prognosis wasn't good. Ethan's father, normally the rock of the family, sat silently beside his wife, his hands gripping the edge of the couch. When the call ended, the house was steeped in silence. Ethan's parents barely looked at him when he came downstairs. "What's happening?" he asked hesitantly. His mother's tear-streaked face crumpled. "It's Emily. She has cancer." Ethan's world tilted. His sister, the one person who'd always believed in him, even when his parents didn't, was facing the unimaginable. In the weeks that followed, Emily began her battle against cancer. Ethan wanted to help but knew his parents wouldn't trust him. Meanwhile, Emily, desperate for information, stumbled upon a YouTube video titled "Top 5 Natural Strategies to Boost Healing During Cancer Treatment." She had no idea it was her brother's channel, but the advice struck a chord. She adopted the suggestions wholeheartedly, changing her diet, incorporating mindfulness practices, and trying herbal supplements discussed in the video. Slowly, she began to see improvements. 2 months later, Emily called with astonishing news. "The cancer's gone," she said, her voice trembling with disbelief. My scans are clear. Ethan's parents were overjoyed. His mother cried, his father hugged her tightly, and Ethan stood in stunned silence. But the revelations weren't over. Emily, curious about the videos that had guided her, shared them with her family. "You have to see this channel," she said. "It's incredible." When Ethan's parents watched the videos, realization dawned. 2 months later, Emily called with astonishing news. "The cancer's gone," she said, her voice trembling with disbelief. "My scans are clear." Ethan's parents were overjoyed. His mother cried, his father hugged her tightly, and Ethan stood in stunned silence. But the revelations weren't over. Emily, curious about the videos that had guided her, shared them with her family. "You have to see this channel," she said. "It's incredible." When Ethan's parents watched the videos, realization dawned. With the money, Ethan paid off his family's debts and covered Emily's recovery expenses. One evening, his father pulled him aside. "Ethan, I was wrong," he admitted. "You've done more than I ever thought possible. You've helped people in ways I couldn't imagine, starting with your own sister. I'm proud of you." For the first time in years, Ethan felt the weight of his father's approval. "Thanks, Dad," he said, his voice steady. "But I didn't do this for the money or the recognition. I did it because people deserve hope. Emily deserved hope." And for the first time, his family truly understood him. Ethan wasn't just their dreamer son anymore. He was a healer, a fighter, and a miracle worker in disguise.